Let's talk about comparison of adverbs. Now, adverbs, just like adjectives, have three forms. They have the positive, the comparative, and the superlative form. The positive is your basic form of the adverb. So you would say something like fast, okay, or soon, if you're dealing with one-syllable adverbs. Or you might say something like clearly or deeply, if you're dealing with adverbs that are two or more syllables long. And the ly ending here is often more indicative of adverbs that are two or more syllables long, because otherwise you just have ly, obviously. The comparative form compares two different things, and we form the comparative form differently depending on the length of the adverb. With adverbs that are just one syllable long, we just add er. So we would say something is faster than something else, or something is sooner than something else. With two or more syllables, we add more. Or if you're talking about the least degree of something, you would add less. Right? So something is more seen more clearly, let's say, or less clearly, more deeply, less deeply. The superlative form is created by adding est for one-syllable adverbs, so you would say fastest or soonest, and with two or more syllables you add most or least. So you would say most clearly or least clearly. And the nice thing about adverbs is that they pretty much all follow this pattern with one or two syllables. The only exception is early. So early is actually two syllables long, but it falls into this first category. You tend to say earlier and earliest, not more early or most early. Other than that, all of the adverbs follow this kind of pattern. All of the regular adverbs, I should say, because we'll get to irregular ones in a minute. That's a little bit different than adjectives. Adjectives have quite a bit more variation, and you can watch the separate video on comparison of adjectives that will explain that. So let's go on then to irregular adverbs. There's not too many of these, and many of them are actually the same in the adjective form or have a lot of similarity. So you can spend a little bit of time looking at this chart here, but you can see that these are so irregular that they change almost completely. We move, for instance, from well to better to best, or from badly to worse to worst, and you just have to memorize these or get used to them in the English language. And then the final category, which is not on the chart here, consists of adverbs that don't have a comparative or a superlative form. And there are probably more of these with adverbs than with adjectives. A few examples would be really, okay, even, or not. These are adverbs that simply cannot be compared very easily. You can't really say more really, or realliest, or more not, or least not. So watch out for these. You don't have to change them when it comes to the comparative form, but otherwise your adverbs are going to follow these basic patterns that we've described here above.